going on, everyone? It's Blaziken67 here in my Ultimates. We got an exclusive interview of Kodaka himself talking about DR3, the anime, and I am here to present you guys with this article. Thank you, Golden Wish. Shouts out to you for sending me the link to this article. You are amazing. You are always giving me everything, Golden Witch. Why do you do this to me? I cannot believe you sent this to me. I'm so happy to see what Kodaka feels about DR3. And, you know, he created it, so I want to know his opinions on it. So before we start, let me just say, ha, Omega Vowin, you didn't get this exclusive interview. I don't see it on your channel. I don't see you having a video of it, Omega Vowin. You always got videos of everything, but not this, huh? Not this, huh? Because Golden Witch sent me this, not you. No. It's all love, guys. I love Omega Vowin. I actually look up to him. He's a really good Danganronpa tuber. It's all love between the Danganronpa tubers. I'm trying to tell you guys right now, I love you, Omega Vowin. I love you. Trust me, guys, I'm only kidding. It is love between the Danganronpa tubers. We all love each other. We all have fun with each other. I love Omega Vowin. He is awesome. But let's just go ahead and jump into this article now, shall we? So DR3 spoiler warning. So if you have not watched the anime, you are going to be spoiled. So do not watch this video. Leave. Go somewhere. You can't be here. Anyways, here's a post-Kaibohin interview with Kodaka and Haiga, he's the animation producer, from the Otomedia Winter 2016 issue. Much thanks given to Yukuzume for scanning these. And of course, this is going to be in the description down below. I'm going to send you guys the link so you can read this along with me, or you can read it after me, whatever you want. So we're going to just jump into the article. So the story of DR3 came from Kaibohin. So question, so how do you feel now that you've finished work on DR3? Haiga says, mostly my feelings are, is it really over? It was a truly valuable experience, but I don't want to do 2 broadcasts per week anymore. I can see how that could probably get annoying, honestly. 2 broadcasts a week, that's a lot of animation. Kodaka says, I feel like I won't be making an anime like this again. What? I feel like I won't be making an anime like this again? Kodaka, why? I skipped over DR2 in order to make DR3 an anime instead, and I did because I wanted to tell a story twice a week. And not because it was complete fan service. I'm not going to be making an anime like this again. Hopefully he means like an anime with 2 broadcasts, with 2 separate animations like this again. Hopefully that leaves a spot open for DRV3 to get an anime. Hopefully. I mean, just give us a normal anime. We're not asking for no 2 broadcasts a week, even though that shit was cool as fuck. So Haiga goes, DR3 was made for those who have already played DR1 and DR2, which is all of us fans, all the ultimates, who know how to brace for any mystery thrown their way. It was an amazing project, in that we just accepted that those who haven't finished the games would say, I don't get it. There were probably viewers who didn't know what it meant that Nanami appeared at the end of Zetsubohin and in Kaibohin. People who have only seen DR3 won't have any clue what's going on with how Nanami, who's supposed to be dead, appears in Kaibohin, and then it disappears all of a sudden. This is a direct consequence of us putting DR3 on TV. Kodaka goes, but I was happy that even people tuning in for the first time ended up enjoying it a surprising amount. Now, I haven't had any friends or people that are close to me say that, you know, they ran into the DR3 anime and that's how they got into Danganronpa, but there are probably some people out there, and if you guys are out there, welcome to the DR fan base. We accept you with open arms. Anybody that wants to become a fan of Danganronpa, we are the kindest fan base of all time. So come on down and become a fan of Danganronpa. Anyways, let's keep on going. Haiga says it's because it was in such a novel format. Kodaka says, I was conscious of that much, that maybe people wouldn't enjoy the story at all without having played DR1 or DR2. But because it was in such a novel format of 2 episodes a week, they might give it a try after all. Then I thought maybe they'd get interested and want to play the games afterwards, which I know a lot of people would probably want to play the games if you watched the anime, of course. And you knew there was games after. Haiga goes, and more than just that, isn't one of the rules of the mystery genre to spread clues about the tricks? You're supposed to give hints before providing answers. But because DR3 is split into Miraihin and Zetsubohin, if you watch only Miraihin, you're kind of fucked for Zetsubohin. The Despair video as a weapon comes out of nowhere. But when you alternate between Miraihin and Zetsubohin as you watch, it's already established that the Despair video can be used as a weapon, so that was the most entertaining part of doing 2 episodes a week, which a lot of us fans and a lot of people that reacted to it would react in that order, as in they would watch the Future arc on Monday, and then on Thursday they would watch the Despair arc, and you kept doing that each week. That's what I was doing. That's what a lot of other YouTubers were also doing. So Kodaka says, if you were only watching Mirai Hen, the climax might seem more like a farce than anything, like it was a video. But on the other hand, you say, I was making it a farce on purpose. And a strict mystery, it's taboo to use twins as your trick too, right? But in DR1, I felt like deliberately doing what I shouldn't. So with DR3 too, part of it is daring to leave out part of the mystery, with the idea that there is no true culprit. And Haiga says, the fact that you were allowed to do that is what makes Danganronpa what it is, which is so true. Well, he says, I think, because you have that theme of hope and despair. You can flout the rules and wave it off just by saying, that's despair for you. That's true. Kodaka says, that's not exactly the same trick as Komai. I do. He always brings this fool up. That's not exactly the same trick as Komaeda's from DR2, but that's luck for you. It's the same kind of idea. Haiga says, I think that Danganronpa might just be about having a plot that works while including parts that make you go, is that really gonna work as a plot line? There were a couple things in the DR3 anime that, I kind of questioned. Kodaka, I get the feeling that if you rewatch DR3, it's gonna feel a lot like it did with DR2. DR2 had the whole, it was a video game thing. But DR3 feels like it's because it was an anime. I see. So let's move on to the next question. What scenes from the endgame of DR3 left the biggest impressions on you? Ooh, that's a good question. So Haiga says, what I found impressive was how Sakukura was so hated. But when everyone learned what he was like on the inside, his popularity shot up right when it was leading up to his last moments. In the beginning there, we were working hard planning a figure for him. Really? So he gained a big fan base. Well, I kind of noticed that in my comments and some of my other videos. Like, a lot of you guys just started like really liking him. Kodaka, it was kind of like, should we really have gone with Sakukura? Haiga says, things are a lot better now that they were back then. And Kodaka says, I'm sorry that Sakukura's actor, Junichi Sawa-san, who actually went and expressed his concern for him on Twitter. I want to make sure he knows just how popular he was in the end. Haiga says, when you watch the story again from the beginning after knowing about Sakukura, I think you're going to find him cuter when you see him putting on airs in the first half of the series. He acts tough, but he's a good guy. Kodaka says, Sakukura is deeply emotional. He's catty at Nagi, and so on. But I think he tells Munakata about his desires. He won't even invite him out by saying, let's go do something, training together. It's like he'll watch him from afar and come when he's called. Also, I think you'll notice this yourself upon rewatch, but when Sakukura tells Munakata, as long as you're still alive, the Future Foundation can get back on its feet, you wonder if maybe he's actually talking about himself, not the Future Foundation. Haiga, it means that as long as Munakata is around, Sakukura will be alright. Kodaka, Sakukura is transparent about wanting to work hard together with him, but I think it's interesting. It's fun to write a character as weak as Sakukura. If you ask me personally, I think that he isn't even really that strong from a brute force perspective. He's strong in the boxing world as a player of that game, but he's probably no match for Sakura Ugami from DR1. I would like to see them in a fight, honestly. Haiga says, maybe it's just the effects of DR3's story, but he doesn't really come off as the kind of guy who can win against a strong opponent. Kodaka says, he even loses to Enoshima, which we saw. Like, she had that man on the ground, on his knees. He gave in completely to Junko, and she didn't even have to fight that man. The strongest one has to be Kamakura, because he's the total god mode character. But personally, I don't think Enoshima could beat Ugami. No, she couldn't. Higa, in a fair fight, you mean? Kodaka says, right. Enoshima could win against her with the right weapons at her disposal. True. But she probably couldn't win if they duked it out with a straightforward test of strength. But Kamakura is strong. Kamakura is this godlike entity. So he's on a completely different level. Haiga says, so now Hinata is the strongest if he has reason to be. But could Hinata really win against anyone, no matter what kind of army comes to attack him? Kodaka says, he's ultimately human. He's the strongest human. But he's not going to transcend humanity. And unlike Kamakura, Hinata has emotions, so that might make him surprisingly weak. In Kaibohin, Soda says, this guy's from the reserve course? if you've got Soda talking smack about you, you're not all that great. That's true. Also, the whole story of DR3 came from Kaibo-hin. So in the end, that's what's left the biggest impression on me. What's funny is Kodaka just made fun of his own character, Soda. I love Soda. What is wrong with Soda? What is all this Soda hate? What is going on here? Even Kodaka's making fun of him? Jesus. Nika says, did you draft the scenario starting from the 77th class coming to rescue Naagi and the others? And then work backwards to come up with the rest from there? Kodaka says, that's right. DR2 ended so beautifully. Oh my god, that game was a masterpiece on such a good note. So I wasn't sure what to do about that, but so much happened in DR1 and DR2 that I wanted to give them a happy ending for the last time. People might call it pandering, but I think I even said at one meeting, well, at least it's happy pandering. Mirai-hen and Zepsubo-hen were created to bring us to that last takeaway. So I guess you could say that DR3 exists because of Kaibo-hen. Making an anime is such a unique process that I think the story got cut too short in the end. Which a lot of people were worried, especially me. I was worried that this anime wasn't going to be good just because, you know, you only have so many episodes. So you have to throw as much shit as you can. And into, what, like 12 episodes? So that's what happened. And you got a budget and everything, so... I mean, Kodaka did what he could do. I like what he says right here. He says, so I was pretty anxious about all the fans' reactions watching Kaibo-hen. One question I've always had, do you guys think Kodaka watches the reactions on YouTube? Like, I wonder if he, like, ran across, oh, look at this kid, Blazing Kid. I mean, he's reacted to one of my animes, especially part 1. Let me go ahead and watch it. Because, I mean, Falero did that when I did his Danganronpa Bridge. He found me and he watched my reactions to it. So I'm kind of curious if Kodaka does the same. I don't know if he would be able to understand me, because I don't know if he speaks English fluently. But it would be cool if he did. Danganronpa tubers about this, especially when we had that live stream where we were all talking about, you know, the anime and such. I remember Omega Valwin wasn't really happy with the ending. And now that I see Kodaka's side of it, I understand, like, I see why it ended like that. You know, he said that DR2 ended so beautifully, and DR3 was, this is the last time you're going to see DR1 characters and DR2 characters. So this is the last takeaway. This is the last time. So it needed to be beautiful like that. It needed to end well like it did. You know, you wanted to see that last reunion with all the characters. And yeah, the anime had a lot of plot holes and it didn't explain everything fully to its fullest amount. But even Kodaka said right here, the story got cut too short in the end, guys. He had more to write, but he didn't have enough budget. He didn't have enough episodes to write it all into. So you have to kind of, like, you know, just think about it a little bit. Anyways, let's keep on going. So dreams of the ending credits and what lies after Kaibo-hen. So question, I was surprised to hear that Kaibo-hen was only 1 episode long, which is the Hope arc, despite being the crown jewel of the finale. Kodaka says, if we really dove deep into what each character was doing, we might have been able to make it 2 episodes, but the tempo felt good this way, and even if we had made it longer, it might have just ended up being used on dealing with the enemies they were fighting. Haga says, the fighting was the main event, because we had to show everyone that they could win, even against more notable enemies. At first we had decided on super high school level talents for all of them, but we cut out all of the enemy introductions to put more of the focus on the 77th class, which was a good idea. Kodaka said, I cried a little during Soda's scene. Haga says, the way he was finally acknowledged? Right? Soda finally winning! I kind of feel like it was just Sodia growing up a little. The reality struck in. Kodaka says, the 77th class story leading up to their comeback in Kaibo-hen is explored a little in Super Danganronpa 2.5, which is coming out soon. Nagito Maeda and the World Destroyers, the anime that's coming bundled with the limited edition release of DRV3. So I think that's what you're going to want to focus your imagination the most on. I think we had the freedom there to speculate about things like World Sumiki apologized to Saionji, or how did she forgive her? Or do they even remember their time in the game in the first place? And so on. Those were all the questions that we were talking about when we had that live stream with all the Danganronpa tubers. Is we were questioning, like, all this stuff. Like, what was going on with all the characters? Where's all that missing plot line that we're missing right now? It's all going to be explained, hopefully, in 2.5. So we'll have to see. So tell us some more of the story that didn't make it into DR3. Kodaka says, Munakata was supposed to die. Ooh. As I recall, he was going to die protecting Naagi. I think at this point, I'm happy he didn't actually die, me too. But mostly because I wanted him to carry the weight of his sin from that time he tried to get rid of Sakukura. I tweaked that part of the script because I wanted Naagi to move forward, carrying the burden of hope. Hinata to move forward, carrying the burden of despair. And Munakata to move forward, carrying the burden of his dead friends. Really. The plan was to include what happens to all sorts of different characters after Kaibohin during the credits, but they all got cut for length. Shit. There was a scene about what happens to Munakata afterwards too. Dude, we need a DVD Blu-ray version of Danganronpa 3 the anime with all the deleted scenes, everything that was cut and edited out. I want to see it all. Like it says, his ending was getting injured in a fight with remnants of despair in a back alley somewhere, and then sitting and looking at the graduation photo of the three of them. But it became just the one scene where he parts ways with Naagi and the others. So we just had a really quick flashback of Munakata's group in school put in there. We planned on adding other scenes too, like Monica being a NEET in space, and Mitarai making anime on the boat while the rest of the 77th class watches with rapt attention. And Naagi and Togami going to meet up with Komaru and Fukawa. This is all the stuff that we were questioning, guys! This is awesome! But personally, when I first read the rough draft of how it would end, ultimately it was Naagi and Hinata carrying their respective burdens of hope and despair that I thought was really amazing. Woo! This is too much for me right now. This is too much. This is too juicy. Kodaka says, in the last episode of Zetsubohin, Inoshima says, if despair disappeared from the world, that would be despair inducing in its own way. And the thing Mitarai was trying to create would have caused exactly that. It might have even been possible that she thought things through that far. Also, pure and simple. I had tears in my eyes during Munakata and Naagi's confrontation. I did too. That was sad. That might have been the one part in all of DR3 that made me want to cry the most. Hold up! What about the Chiaki scene, bro? Was it just okay to see what? What? No, the Chiaki scene. That was amazing acting by Megumi Ogata-san and Toshiyuki Morikawa. I can't say these words. I'm sorry. I butcher Japanese words and names. Haiga says it's thanks to Morikawa-san that Munakata became such a good character. Nagi was hoping that he could become friends with Munakata, but Munakata doesn't answer him. You could maybe say that he's sidestepping it, or just that even when he's sharing information with others, he does it like he's muttering to himself. So Nagi and the others can't get to know him, and vice versa. I'm so grateful to Morikawa-san for putting on a performance that conveyed the transition from Munakata antagonizing Nagi to becoming his ally, even without saying so in as many words. And then Kodaka says, all of the voice actors in DR3 were amazing. So true, so true, so true. That sub was amazing. Munakata's actress, Haya Hirana-san, came in to record before there was any animation. Ooh, that had to be hard. Haiga says, Hirana-san had already planned to study abroad during the time when the recording was going to take place, so we recorded just Monica's lines in advance. Her voice saying those lines were the foundation that we layered the art and everything else into. Okay, so we got another question. This one's straight for Kodaka. Kodaka-san, do you have an idea in your head of what happens after Kaibohin? Let's see what he says, guys. Let's see what he says. Kodaka, nope. Just that the 77th class, living and going on their journey, have no choice but to bear the weight of their sins. So I think it's going to be a lot of trouble for them. The whole world hates them. Sometimes I feel bad for the dead DR1 characters, but there are ways in which being alive is its own problem. I didn't have any idea of what happened after DR1 and then DR2 after I finished each of those either. But I can't say that when DR3 is the last Woo! He said, but I can't say that when DR3 is the last installment. Oh! Actually, now that I think about it, when I started making DR3, I got stuck on something from DR2. After Nanami dies in Chapter 5, she comes back in Chapter 6 through a glitch. And when I was writing Nanami for that, I had the idea that she was a little bit off. She's not like the Nanami we've seen so far. I thought she was never that tender. I had that gnawing at my brain when I was making DR3, and I thought, maybe that really was a different Nanami. And that's how I came up with the Nanami and Zetsubohin. I haven't thought of anything that happens after DR3, but I might have something deep down in my conscience like that. Not that I'm gonna do anything with it. Why, Kodaka? Do something with it. Do something with it. Please, do something with it. That's all I'm gonna say. Hika says, then who do you think would make a good protagonist for a DR3 spinoff? Kodaka says, maybe I'd want to write about someone from the 77 class to tie up some loose ends. Like the 77 class as seen by Koizumi. Oh! Hika says, I do want to know what she's thinking. Kodaka says, Koizumi's serious, so she's probably thinking about that. They have to carry their sin. Other than that, maybe because of Ryu and Peko? Oh, that would be amazing. Hika says, I smell a great action-packed story there. Yes, it would be action-packed. It would be full of emotion. I would cry. I need it. Why are they teasing me like this? I hate this interview. Kodaka laughs, and then maybe Enoshima. Oh, I already wrote the Danganronpa 0 novels, but Enoshima loves her classmates from DR1. I want to write more of that. All of the DR2 characters are small fry to her. She just brainwashed them all at once. Like, I don't even freaking know these guys. But she deliberately let the DR1 crew survive and turn the school into a shelter so that she could make her classmates kill each other. It's like, the more she loves someone, the more she wants to treasure their mutual killing. And so I want to try writing a story like, they're my classmates, so I want to treasure their despair at my hands. Ooh. Higa. Personally, if we had more time, I would have wanted to try including... I was just thinking about this the other day, guys. I was like, man, if Ikesaba was just a little bit more conscious of Nagi, man, why could that not be? And look, Higa says, personally, if we had more time, I would have wanted to try including Ikesaba, not turning against Enoshima per se, but being more conscious of Naagi. And Kodaka says Tsubohin was focused on the 77th class, so for both Enoshima and Ikesaba, we can only show the part of them that the 77th class saw. Higa says, I wanted to try making OVA about the 78th class when they were having fun. A story where everyone is being nice to Enoshima, like Juko Enoshima's birthday or something. Kodaka says, a surprise party. And Higa says, Enoshima would be so truly happy, and then she'd find her resolve. And Kodaka says, the resolve to treasure their despair at her hands. So we got another question. The TV broadcast is over now, but the Blu-ray box sets are coming bundled with special anime and PC games and so on. Kodaka says the special anime is basically petite Danganronpa, and they're kind of like flash animations. Komaeda in Volume 3's special anime was particularly fun. Higa says, in the mysterious Hope Room, Komaeda asks, what's our hope today? And Sakura appears in the room, and the two of them have a conversation, I guess. And it's kind of like a fun, sketchy comedy. Hey, that's cool. Kodaka says, the PC game Kirigiri So comes bundled with Volume 3. Let's get it! Kirigiri gets her own PC game? And the scenario was written by Takekune Kitayama, the author of the Danganronpa Kirigiri spin-off novels. When we decided to put in a special video game, we were thinking about through the perspective that Spike Chudasov is all about sound novels, baby. We were wondering if there was anything we could do with that, and we started talking about how the characters for Kirigiri are pretty similar to the characters in the title of Osokurisu. Kitayama-san told us that he loved Osokurisu and please let me have this. So we left the scenario to him. Kirigiri's in the main game, but if you replay it a lot, the SHSL botanist will show up too. I remember a lot of people were questioning that. Higa said, are there any of the pink bookmarks we know and love from Itagarisu? Kodaka says, well, there's some comedy. So we got another question. Last question, guys. Can you give one last message to all the Danganronpa fans out there? That is us! That is the ultimates! That is the ultimates! Give it to us. What's that last message, my boy? Kodaka says, please buy the Blu-rays and DVDs. Hold up, I got a last message for you. Where is the merch in the United States of America? Where is it, Kodaka? I need it. Where's the merch, my brother? But anyways, he says, please buy the Blu-rays and DVDs. If you buy them, then maybe we could keep doing petite Danganronpa. Higa says, If the Blu-ray box sells, then maybe Spike Chunsoft-san will release an extended version of Kirigiri. So wink wink. So go out there and buy the Blu-ray box sets of my brothers and sisters. So Kodaka says, I don't know about that. No, that's what he says now. But go out there and buy that, my brothers and sisters. At any rate, even though there might have been some painful plot developments, thank you very much for watching Danganronpa 3 until the end. That was beautiful. That article / interview / whatever you want to call that was completely beautiful. I cannot believe this. And just look how the page looks for it too. It looks cool. Anyways, Danganronpa fans, my ultimates, the people that I love oh so fucking much. We need to buy them goddamn Blu-ray box sets. A lot of questions were answered in this interview. I'm glad that Golden Witch sent this to me. I hope this clears up a lot of stuff for you guys too, because I know a lot of you guys were questioning the DR3 anime. I know some people liked it, some people were on the fence about it, some people hated it. Hopefully your questions were answered in this interview. I'm going to post a link to this interview in the description. Please send this to all your friends of Danganronpa. Put this on Danganronpa Aminu. Put this on Reddit, whatever you can. You can put this video on here. You can just post the article somewhere. Just let people know about this, because I think that everyone should go out there and read this if you're a Danganronpa fan, because it clears up a lot of stuff, definitely for the anime and for the future. So definitely do that, guys. Just share it. Share this video. Share that article too. Also, I cannot believe we got an interview, and I hope we get more, especially for the DRV3 game. Woo! Okay, the excitement needs to... Gotta calm down just a little bit. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me your guys' thoughts on this article. Read it for yourselves. Watch the video. Have an amazing day. Deuces, guys.
Hope will never die.
Can you see the sun is shining on me? It makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive.